moko dolel pour mu feko tax. GRA loi moko dolel pour mu feko tax. GRA loi moko dolel pour mu feko.
Good evening and welcome to another taxpayer education program brought to you courtesy of the Gambia Revenue Authority. I am Answane Nyasi and here with the usual suspects. Every week, Babukar Njai, Senior Taxpayer Education Officer, and we're also joined by Mr. Henry Mendy, Taxpayer Education Officer, and Mrs. Fatu Cham, Taxpayer Service Officer.
Henry is Taxpayer Education Manager.
Taxpayer Education Manager.
Henry, yes.
Okay. So we welcome you back again to this platform. Like I said earlier, brought to you courtesy of the Gambia Revenue Authority. During our last program, last week we were talking about the ITAS, the Integrated Tax Administration System. We're still on ITAS, and we would go through to another very important component of this very important platform that the GRA will be rolling out very soon. And last week we did TIN, the tax identification number, and we took you through the entire process of how to register, what the requirements are, and how the system works. And today we are looking at another component, which is the tax type registration. But I would allow, as usual, Henry to lead us into that. And then Babukar and Fatu would take us through the same in the local languages. Henry.
Good evening, our esteemed taxpayers and viewers out there. This is your weekly taxpayer education program from GRA. We are talking of a new system that GRA is working to bring to the domestic taxes department. We have GamTaxNet. Now we want to move to ITAS, which will be web-based. We started these discussions a week or two ago. Last Thursday it was on TIN. It's the same process, no difference with the TIN. Today we want to talk about the tax types, how to do it electronically. But before that, we want to tell you, we'll come to that later, how we are doing it currently, and then we'll go into the e-system so that you see the difference.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
So maybe you'll take us through what tax type e-registration is, for better understanding.
Before we go to the tax type, the e-registration, what is the difference between what is happening right now? If my brother down there, Korka, wants to register his business.
His cafe
business. You should start taxing him.
Okay, he will go to, I think here is closer to Carnegie. You go to Carnegie and tell them I want to register my business. But before you come to GRA, your business must be registered. People should not confuse the two. Go to Attorney General's chambers or go to single window and register your business first. Then you come to GRA for you to register the tax type that you are engaging. The business you are engaging, they'll tell you this is the tax type. And then you register. You will come with your TIN and so on, and your ID card or passport and so on to do those things. And then you can go and continue your business. Then they'll tell you, are you paying monthly or quarterly or once a year, you'll be told. So, but when the ITAS comes into force, it will be different. You will do it electronically. You need, just like we told you the TIN, you need a mobile, smartphone, or a desktop or a laptop, and then connect it to the internet. So we'll come to the steps later.
Okay.
So that's the e-registration. Now the tax type, depending on the type that you are, the business you are doing, the tax type will then be explained. We have different tax types. We have PAYE, we have corporate income tax. We also have other tax types, that rental, fringe benefits, withholding and so on, and capital gains, so that you can register. So we'll go into the steps gradually later.
Okay. Babukar.
Yes, abaraka baki Henry aning ansumana me mobe konton rek abe jubero da dawoda comme dalta ka kenya men tel jiare ko le nata jang bi ko tanke pour na le kacha comme ansumana ya fanya men ITAS ko nyin ka wole kacha ITAS nak niya moy wolum system kuto nyintin lafta men natila nyato demanding me alon ko jamani labang londolum because right now na tax system nying ikafume gam tax net joro kake wolela wodum mu manual leti but ning ITAS ni nata tamanya nyimbe falinnale ibe sile la bungu konole ye joro ke wayar remon futa GRA wodum nak ay fanna jamal le soto last week kachata num comme tin number ka metin number be register la nyamen ning ITAS nata bi nak lafta men kachala wolum tax type registration wolum ibe namu sifa men jola iba register la nyadi la comme right now aka register nyamen ni la business o soto inyanta tala KMC ka fa dame single window wala eta Ministry of Justice yela business o register ni business o ni register yela tin number soto den yena GRA be nyinin kala ila business address nyinna ila registration nyu bebe tar la jela ila tin number nyin den ila business type ibe business sifa men keka so ni o be long den ibalon na lay nyanta tax type men fanang register la wala mi nyanta namu sifa men register la den joro nyimbe kala nyamen iba fulele based on ibe business o men keka so pour ka i registration yung introduce an sumana abe nyanta kala wala nyama
okay abaraka bake Babukar Fatou.
ok jërëjëf suñ mbokki seetaankat yi ñu ngi fi waat beneen yoon si seen taxpayer education programme biñ leen di amal alxames bu jot si waxtu bii nii last week door nañ di leen explainal new system bi GRA bugga indi right now gam taxnet bi lañ nekk di use te boobu is a manual system waaye système bu ees biñ bëgg a indi ñu ko ooyee ITAS muy integrated tax administrative system boobu su ñëwee dafa nekk a web based system comme loo ci bëgg a def rek danga koo def online with the help of an internet, a laptop, a smartphone or a desktop. So last week waxtaan nañ fi ak yéen wax leen naka la ñoo register tiin su dee indi nañ ñu système boobu on board. So tey ñu ngi bëgg a dem si e-registration bi comme like tax type yi nga xam ne moo nekk obligation pour taxpayers yi di ko fay. So Henry ak Babukar explain nañu wane ne soo waree def di e-registration danga dem to the Ministry of Justice or the single window and then nga register foofu noonu sa business bi ba pare foofa demee dañ dee xool ndax yow sa business name bi amul beneen business buy use that same name so then nga doorañ mun a ñëw GRA then soo ñëwee GRA then dinañ la generatal tiin su dee business boobu mu suta am tiin then from there based on the type of business you are doing then dinañ mun a determine yow yan tax obligations nga am ba pare ñu mun a xam yow ban tax type nga war a fay. Then from there dinañ register tax types yi nga war a fay yëpp based on yow façon business bi nga def waaw ci gàttal daal e-registration bi noonu la moo demee.
Jërëjëf Fatou. Henry, let's now look at who is required to register for a tax type.
Yeah, okay. Thank you very much. The types of e-registration first, before we go to who is required to, because we have automatic and voluntary registration. Now, like for, let's say the National Education and Technical Levy, if your threshold reaches $1 million, automatically you'll be registered. Yes, like this is a levy that is normally collected for NACA.
Yes.
You understand? So before it was 500,000 to 1 million, then will be, but now it has been raised to 1 million and above. If you reach 1 million, then you will be registered. Even if you don't know, yes, automatic, yes. Okay. So it's based on your turnover and so on, you will be registered. So the voluntary one, you know that, yes, like VAT, you know that if you have, before it was have a million to register, now it is
1 million.
A million for you to register. Voluntarily. So you can then come forward and do the registration. The other one is enforced one. Now the system we have a system that you need to come forward. That's the tax system. You should come forward and do whatever you want with us. But if you don't come, then we'll come for you. So we can also enforce registration based on your turnover and those things, then you can be registered. Okay. So that's the automatic, voluntary, and then enforce this thing. Then the tax types. If, for example, Korka is involved in a business and like VAT, and his turnover is up to 1 million or so, he needs to come forward and register for VAT and then collect VAT for GRA. Whenever he imports, he'll pay import VAT, and then when he's selling, he'll then be collecting VAT, and then the difference will knock the difference. Whatever is left, he'll pay. But you cannot collect VAT when you are not registered for it. So you have to come forward and then do the registration. If you have employees also, so all these things will be done electronically. We'll go to step by step, just like the team.
Yes.
You're going to access our website and then follow it.
Okay. Yes. I would like Babukar and Fatu to take us through that, because I think it's very important in the local language as well, beginning with the automatic and voluntary.
Yes, and the enforced one. Thank you, Henry. Thank you so much, Ansumana Abaraka Bake. Comme Henry Afunyameng, registration ning ay fanna sabale soto. Sa fanna fulanjang sam fanna following ka fole automatic e-registration. Comme for example, na trebe business okay kang me alonko ila soto sangonin kono afutata wuche doto masino ni be register automatically. For example, I am for National Education Levy. Wonata ila turn over tata for 1 million. Sangonin kono wala ila soto sangonin be kono 1 million si automatic registration. Na fanan ye doku lal fanan soto me alonko ke jo salaries la pour PAYE o fana be register la automatic. Na fanan ko makamem fo ika VAT fanan collect on behalf of the GRA bari register tale me alonko ila turn over is up to 2 million wo is compulsory registration masino ni be register la automatic wolo masino be register la e deate ya kuyate ya be register la ika fole automatic e-registration fulanjango ni wolom voluntary nyinti wo fanan comme voluntary registration ni téléphone nyanta nala ye famfo comme for example nayatra ila turn over ni man 2 million si yalo masino nyinte register automatic but nayatra ila turn over ni atata for 1 million dalasi on VAT masino ni voluntary registration bijele ite binana ya foko ndela turn over there as far as VAT is concerned nkatale for 1 million dalasi every year, so you be registered a voluntary registration. And one thing for an left clear and dilale melka VAT collect on behalf of the GRA for GRA certificate issue. Kai kandiko you are certified or registered mayanko you have been registered for VAT. Isaje isikari VAT collect no on behalf of the GRA come Henry Afonyameng. Enforce registration wala vole bekela kom ibinalale namulle fango bina ya initiate wala namulle bina ya kere itel fango le na ye register because abatara le san ite nyanta nalale imanna na ila doku dulato ila business soto ya je ko yes nying based on information men soto wala nga kibaro men soto ko Ansumana be business solalde bara la ton over ni 1 million sile anyanta register la pour education levy ala turn over 2 million sile anyanta register la pour VAT but amanna so ibinala le ka fole enforce registration ibinala le register so registration ni nak meni wato men kono teng me system men use kan kayto le kana be dada bari ni electronic system ni nata nka fome ITAS o ibe ninna mol nata ibe machine o landi lele yela information o be dundi ay register automatically.
Okay.
Okay. Comme ni ko Baboucarr ak Henry waxee rek types of tax yi nga xam ne moom lañ dee register nekk na si ñetti fànna am nañ automatic e-registration am nañ voluntary e-registration am nañ tamit enforced registration so automatic registration bi dafa nekk based on category of what the taxpayer does façon business bi moo def wala mu nekk classification boo xam ne nii loolu la business bi dee def wala mu nekk turnover ñaata mooy sa am si at bi wala xëj na nga am ay employees so yooyu noonu yëpp nañ ko consider pour nga war a am automatic registration for example national education levy bi su dee sa am ëpp na $1 million obviously système bu ees bi su ñëwee dañ la register automatically su dee tamit yaa ngi am ay employees ñoo jël ñu laa liggéeyal so ñooñu noonu tamit at the end of the month dañ war di fay PAYE so système bi su recognize ne yow yaa ngi am ay employees so automatically système bi dina la register at the end of the day su dee tamit VAT sa turnover bi is more than $2 million so système bi tamit dina la recognize and then mu register la automatically so léegi ñu ñëw ci beneen type bi registration bi mooy voluntary e-registration bi taxpayer bi dafa ñëw and then mu apply for registration ne moom entitled na pour register for VAT for example so dafa walk into our office voluntarily then mu register because moom tamit am na sa turnover bi fu moo maybe up to $1 million war ngaa mun a ñëw nga walk into our office and then nga voluntarily register beneen fànna bi mooy enforced registration boobu moom mooy su dee yow sa turnover bi am na fu mu toolu nga war a fay yenn façon yi taxi te ñëwuloo so boobu suñ gaay léegi-léegi dañ lay génna dem xool façon yi business yi nga xam ne ñu ngi toog te nanguwu ñëw GRA so suñ ñëwee nag fekka la sa place xool o ñu am information about you mun ne ñëw ñu ne la da nga war a register for these tax types so loolu nag balañ see eega yéen ñi nga xam ne yéen a ngi am ay business te war a fay tax ñëw leen forward please.
Okay. Henry, let's move on now to the requirements as well.
Yeah.
Once the system comes into place, what are the requirements? What would you need to register?
Okay. The tax types, each tax type have something that you need to show. So if it is income tax, personal or corporate, this is for those who are supposed to register if you are engaged in any economic activity in the Gambia. Or you are a resident in the Gambia and engage in any other economic activity outside. Or you are a resident. You need to register for that tax type. For this income tax or corporate this thing. For PAYE, all companies in the Gambia who have employees or businesses who have employees need to pay, register and then pay for this PAYE. For value-added tax, like we've already explained, it's not everyone. You must have vatable goods first, and then your threshold is 2 million. Your turnover is 2 million. Then you have to register.
Yeah.
And then you display the certificate. When you are registered, the certificates will be displayed in your business premise, and then you'll be collecting VAT. All the receipts you are giving out or the invoices should state the VAT element of it. And as people are paying, like in supermarkets, if you go to buy a vatable item, food items are out. We know them: oil, rice, sugar, and so on. But other items are vatable. When you buy, the receipt will show VAT element of it. When you collect now, you should remit to GRA. But you have to be registered for it. With ITAS, you will do it electronically. Currently, you go to our office. But with ITAS, you just sit in your home, your office, or your work, your business premise.
It's very convenient.
Yes, and then followed like the thing we told you, like the thing is done. Access our website, and then create a temporary login credentials. You use those ones, and then you log in, and then you continue. Just like the thing is done. It will take you to registration, then the tax type. You click it. Then it will ask you for the documents, and your name, TIN, and those things will be done. So this is the way it is going to be done. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, jërëjëf Ansoumana baraka baake comme nya fo ñamen rek jumane ñanta register for these tax types comme ñing namul momo yaran ko ibe engaging economic activity Gambia kono jang and ibe soto ke kan ñanta register ale pour tax type ñi yeah and momo fana yaran ko imo resident leti Gambia jang but ye taxable income fana soto outside Gambia ite fana ñanta register ale pour ñing tax types all. For example, income tax or corporate tax, individuals will me along engage into economic activities and wolom ibe engaging soto ibe soto ke kan wa firo ni sandiro wala fengo fe me along ka soto ki jere sate wonin kono jang inyanta register lale. And in Gambian sol fana mele along ko ibe sirin jang wala ibe banta and ibe itel fana be soto la wol fana nyanta register lale. Comme for example bi ite Ansoumana bijang ye kordal soto Gambia banta Senegal wala wherever ibe rent molba luas kanje yala we income soto kanne outside Gambia wo fana ñanta register lale PAYE wonam nak wo tax leti me anon ko melie do kulal soto Gambia jang ye mol employee ibe do ko ke kan wol fana ñanta register lale because wo tax ñinka kuntu salary ñineto comme for example ntel mel bebe man sakunda do ko la ntel be nin karo fata ika bo PAYE kuntu ntel lela salary to andong altel fana mel be do ko la private company sol fana is the same thing yes so jannin salary ñimbe fu salary ñim falingo ñim wala kata account ñim to but
Falingo
falingo ñine kata ji because jannin salary ñimbe futala account ñin o kata le tax ñim bondi jele already so falingo ñine tata ji o falingo ñibe wala sambala su pour je su ko wal mananku
eso kama so wala
eso fama nge wala ñama falingo ñine kata ji so wo fanam be wala ñama registration ñin kake anim VAT fanan comme nga VAT ñing explain le num bi business wol me anon ko yi ka taxable supply soto wolum fengol ti me anon ko iñanta VAT jola je wolum fengol me anon ko domor fengol dati je gom sugurol manol ni ñim fendol bari ni tata supermarket tol ye fengol sang dula jama na ya tra yi register tale pour VAT certificate o ñanta tar la jele jiare be VAT number fanan dile lale me anon ko ni la tin number sambanang ni a punch in system ninto baytandilel ko Ansoumana la business o membe Banjul a register tale pour VAT ñina la VAT nombati wolom compulsory registration ñinti voluntary ñing comme nga fa ñamem folo to ni la business o do no wagnin tata fo $1 million wo fanan ñanta li nala le ya register so e bajela ite fanay be registration number dile lale me anon ko ñinam ila VAT registration number ti certificate ñim fana ñanta tarale la bitikoto so mba fola mol fana ni le mel kata sandiro la bitiko bitiki tata je akoy ko wel mbeñim fengo wa fi lema 200 bali VAT ñim mu 15% leti afay ko ila register certificate o le jiare yemen dila kay tandi ko ñanta mo kuntu la VAT la because so certificate o jiare ba dile la nke advice le ko ya ke bitiko to comme ni tata je mo jama ila operational license e ka tala ya frame bitiko nyinto yake so certificate nim fanya mo nyamalo wo is a good advice for the businesses
ambe jansara demande si
fay na jansa be fendi lan nal de jansa mo ko dole fo de ansuma nin tata kulioto ni ko jansa e ka fenne dira
okay na management panan ko saji
ale weto nye kan ako bi kay ako bi parenya bi ni yata bakal
fo ali Cissé ali won tara studio ni to ansuma na fa kay dele ben toni
ba école
buge to mi sa bi garaw la te
la ta ka jansa do wandi for management para ko momo dunta nyindula like supermarket and so o business dunta je sandirola korka ali amele ba ala fo e risitol dial
yes
nalma risitol diman ko e risitol dial dol bi je mbuka lo la tono minti o jalle waf par nale risito collect ani ba samale aita afai bari ni ya collect rek abe tarla machine kono o ala duplicate be tula jeli
okay
isaje o fonan kan dolla do ko soni andil yo Baboucar nge jansa wala ko don
okay abarka ba sa nyamira fat cham si continue no
ok jërëjëf Henry ak
Baboucar la sama do so len
afele ki sama do
korka bayal ali mu setan programme am bu faale ali
ok bon ñu continuer ci programme bi comme ni ko Baboucar ak Henry waxee rek kan moo war a register pour different tax types yi nii so ñu ngi am for example income tax personal or corporate tax so képp koo xam ne nii ci réew mi nga eewoo di yëngatu ci lu mun di doon di ci am income yow da nga war a register pour tax type yi nii su ko defee nga mun di fay tax so any Gambian tamit boo xam ne mu ngi reside si dëkk bi waaye mu ngi engage in some economic activities yoo xam ne nii yaa ngi fa generate income yow tam da nga war a register for these tax types so léegi ñu dem to another one mooy PAYE mooy like pay as you earn so loolu foog naa képp koo xam ne ni yaa ngi liggéey si nguur wala si private sector bi comme ni ko Baboucar waxee xam nga lan mooy PAYE so façon tax type boobu noonu employer bi dafa war a register because yaa ngi am ñoo xam ne ni ay liggéeykat yoo xam ne ni ñu ngi liggéey under you te weer bu dee dang leen di dog li ñoo ooyee PAYE den nga remit ko to GRA so ñooñu noonu tamit dañ war a register waaw parce que ñun ñëpp a dee fay tax waaw so léegi tamit ñu dem to another tax type mooy value added tax boobu tamit am na ñaari façon yi registration compulsory registration mooy su dee sa turnover bi yaa ngi am up to 2 million boobu moom is compulsory ne da nga war a register su dee tamit voluntary la soo amee up to 1 million turnover boobu tamit you are most welcome pour nga ñëw register so si gàttal ñetti tax types yooyu noonu koo xam ne yaa ngi involved in those activities war ngaa ñëw nga register yëfi VAT bi tamit ma ñëwaat fa comme nu gars yi doon wax koo xam ne ni yaa ngi register wuloo fa VAT waruloo charge kenn VAT waaw ba pare dañ lay wax customers yi always ku leen charge VAT nañ request for a receipt yeah loolu la Henry doon emphasize on you always have to request for your receipts su ko defee GRA dinañ mun a xam kii turnover am lan la waaw war naa wana mun a certificate because GRA ñoo la dee register ba pare ñoo la dee jox certificate bi wane ne yow mandate nañ la pour nga mun a collect this type tax type on their behalf so yow dang dem nekk comme like an intermediary so ngay collect this tax type on behalf of GRA why at the end of the day you have to remit it to GRA yeah
so
okay we continue with the it's not finished we also have rental income and this is a very, very difficult area to collect. But we are enforcing, and like we told you before, on radio and TV, we've done this with Babukar and Facham and the others, and NUA, that there's a system that is going to come in place. And when it is working, an ITC or electronic system, whoever is having a rented property in the Gambia, by God's grace, will know where it is. It's going to use Google Map and get all those. We are working, we've collected information from NAWEC, from area councils, and other bodies, physical planning and so on. We know where all these properties are due to area council records and NAWEC. Because NAWEC,
yes,
if you have, if Babukar is having 10 meters in his home, that means it's a rented property.
Yes.
Yeah, so we work on with them, and then so rental income too. Anyone who has a rented property, whether residential or commercial, should also endeavor to come and register. Right now, you come and register, but with ITAS, you don't need to come to our place.
Wow.
You just, like we told you, just have a mobile or connected to internet or a desktop or a laptop. Also, all Gambian residents in the Gambia, whether you are Gambian or non-Gambian, but you are residing here, and you have rented properties outside, you need to come and register and pay the tax. So that's how the law is. Whether if you are doing this, you have rented properties in the Gambia, whether you are residing here or not, you will pay rental income tax. You can also reside here and have properties outside. Those properties, when the rent is due and is paid, you need to also pay, register for it. We also have withholding. Now this withholding, PAYE is a withholding, form of withholding, because it's the employer who's supposed to withhold. But you need to register first before you do it. Also withholding on contracts. We had the minister on on TV and radio in Parliament last year when he presented the budget. There are categories that are given that all government agencies, departments, and so on, and companies, diplomatic missions, NGOs, and so on, must withhold rental income. It's not for everyone. It's not like I'm renting in Korka's home, Korka's would withhold. No. It's only meant for government departments, agencies, diplomatic bodies, and NGOs to do the withholding. So you have to do it, register electronically. When you withhold, you come and remit. We've been having problems, especially with PAY with some companies. They will withhold and then they will not remit. This is tax on salary, and you cut the employee, you don't remit. You do withholding on contracts, you don't remit. That is not acceptable. Like if GRA is building, and we go through GPPA, and our PURA, all these things are done, procurement is done, and then the contractor is identified. When we are paying, finance will deduct and pay to domestic taxes account so that it will be counted as tax collected. So all these things are registered. Then we also have fringe benefits. This, not many people know about it, but banks and other like NGOs, they will be paying this. These are benefits that are in kind. For example, I am the MD of a bank, and now they are giving me resident free if I'm not paying. They're giving me cab free, and so on, or they are giving me employees, domestic employees, maids, guards, security guards. If I'm not contributing anything there, this thing, the employer needs to do the calculation and pay. So the employer will pay these things for these things. If I'm also contributing towards it, like the car I'm contributing towards it, is, let's say, 500,000, and I'm putting in 100,000. That 100,000 I'm putting in will be removed. The balance will then will be taxed.
Ah.
Yes, and that will be paid. So this is also registered. Yes.
Okay. Babukar.
Yeah, abaraka bake Henry Ansumana. Comme hani sani rek be continue kan namu sifal me alon ko wolle nyanta register la ñing ITAS ñi nanata. Adabi je wolum rental income comme na programme tambilangon nga fonung rental income ñim fanan abe fanna fulaleto. Wolum namo me nyanta jula luwaso to. Cleaning wolum residential wolum natra ite la cordalo molbe luwaso la je ika kodo men soto je ika fole residential rental income e nyanta 8% le jola woto dalasi keme dalasi sey le nyanta jola woto second one on ika fole commercial rental wolum je fana yela dulallo yadi molla ibe business okay kanje whatever type of business hence business lam rek ika fole commercial wo fana nyanta 10% jola woto le so wo rental income nyim fana anyanta register la le sa but melialon ko fana man sakunda fana na yatra 15% 15% yes anyanta kele 15 for commercial correct 15% so ibajela na yatra yeddu dulalo yadi molla ibe business okay kanje 15% nyanta wala di dog la je wolon dala sikeme o dala sikeme dala si tannin lulu angalel ka fule 15% so ibaje la fanan natra fana yedula lo banta fanan mulbe luwaso la je fana ibe income soto kanje o fanan nyanta register lale so man sakunda nak nayata ye molla dula luwas ye official kije comme man sakunda dula dulbi la office dolbi je ka luwas le ye official kije so ibaje la ite fanan jannibe o kordatio nin jola wo luwaso nyinna yanta tax ni bondi la jele ya remit to the GRA omu won mele ko man sakunda be la dulal use kan ndaftale ji fana e clear ika fa mo fana e withholding tax wo jama aka soto contract sol leto na ra e contract o dila ibe fengol ke kam mo le jannimbol fana be jola ika withholding tax nim fana bondi jele wo fana ika withhold ya remit ya samba GRA so ibajele is just like PAYE nyim fanan withholding tax lam but jama ka problem soto aning doku dulal me anonko ika nyin kuntumul la sararilto ibukanati nang GRA but nin tata fo ngaw detect luwaye men fo ni kata ho silo nyinnale because nima wo PAYE nyin jo comme for example ning sango nyim banta isulata clearance la pour ila moto ni nata ni nyini kay to la ko into mo ansumana leti eso nya sinka do ko ke QTV ibe la tin no batala ya dundi system nyinto ya jube fo QTV ka jonu yele because ini la pay slip binara ini la insurance ani la tin number na rebu ka jo every month iko men kuntu ite certificate nyin dilela ite o tax clearance nyin dilela even politician ol fanan the same thing in election seat the national assembly wala council wala even president ni wo fanan sita ni na tay bela ibe nyin kala le ila institution ning ka tax nin jole ni adu ni system nin to rek ibalon nale so wala na ni ajube last election ning mo jama bije they could not register because ima o tax clearance nin soto so it's very important for altel melbe do ko la dulal to from time to time ya check yela accounts department ni kanko molla PAY ni koral ka samba jiari because nin sango banta be sulala le na private vehicle soto ibe sulala o tax clearance ni na free benefit fanam comme Henry afanya mo fanam benefit sollati me anon ko doku dulal kadi ila doku lalla wolom nafal me anon ko e ka dilale kamen soto doku ni nakarola me anon ko fanan anyanta tax lale so fanan ka register le pour isaji tax ni fanan kuntuje
ok jërëjëf Baboucar ba tey ñu ngi xuus di leen explainal yan tax types ñoo war a register su système bu ees bi ñëwee bokk na ci di rental income so rental income bi mooy like any property owner koo xam ne nii mu ngi earn income ci Gambia bi dafa war a register koo xam ne nii yaa ngi am ay kër di ko rent either for commercial purposes or residential purposes suñ last programme bi emphasize on nañ si on man Henry commercial rental income meaning comme nga am sa kër nga am fa ay bitik nga luye ko nit ñi di ci def business boobu xaaji téeméer bu nekk fukki dërëm ak juróom rek lañ la si laaj pour nga fay ko as commercial rental income residential rental income bi moom mooy ne su dee yaa ngi am sa kër nga luye ko ay nit ñu dëkk fa ak seen families yi just for domestic purposes boobu xaaji téeméer bu nekk ñu ngi laa wax ne pour nga fay si just 8% mooy téeméer bu nekk nga fay si juróom-ñetti dërëm foog naa loolu yomba na ak fu mu nekk nii rent naka la seeree suñ mbokki saraxule yi niñ ko dee seeralee so dañ dee ñëw ne jiyaare ñoo yokka rental income bi fekkate demeewut noonu soo xoolee keroog suñ programme bi ñu am si radio bi ma Henry ñuy discuss about rates si rental income sa dañ ko wàññi at yi passé woon I think it was 10% waaye léegi 8% rek la soo jiyaare yokkuñ dara so ñu bàyyi xel loolu dañ ñu dee
te pare xam nga luwaas bi tam noo ko yokkee tax bi tam noonu la moo yokk
c'est a percentage
c'est percentage su doon yaa ngi charge 3000 8% 3000 bi mu ngi fa soo ko yokkee to 5000 tam bi léegi is the same 8%.
I know
waaw
ok beneen fànn bi tamit mooy ne su dee yaa ngi nekk a resident in the Gambia ba pare yaa ngi am ay properties outside the Gambia waaye yaa ngi fa receive income from those properties boobu tamit da nga war a register pour nga fay tax
nga dëkk fii
waaw
am ay kër si biti
waaw
te kër yooyu yaa ngi si am koom-koom maanaam si jëlee xaalis moo xam ndax luwaas la yu demee noonu yooyu it war ngaa register
waaw loolu tamit war ngaa register ok
like Korka mu ngi am kër Guinée Conakry Henry mu ngi am kër Guinée Bissau buñ ma fay luwaas war naa register fii pour fay
war nga am register yooyu tamit
waaye loolu nag dina trigger question parce que ñeneen ñi dinañ ne man suma kër bi nekkut Gambia mu ngi ba Sénégal lu tax ma war a fay lii nii lu tax ma war a fay
tax law bi moo war loolu because yaa ngi am income si biti soo bàyyi xel si taxpayers award bi daf di am catégorie boobu noonu rental income ñi dee fay from outside waaw daf di am catégorie boo xam ne daf dee mun a win that award
ok soo gisee ma laajte loolu rek pour
am na keneen kuy xelaatee noonu
am na keneen kuy xelaatee
understand nañ ko waaw
na caam-caam
suma dëkkuwaay yi nekkuñ fii nii ñu ngi ba Sénégal o ñu ngi ba Guinée Bissau dama war a fay Gambia
loolu nga wax sa gars yi suma gars yi si control room bi sax ñu ngi maa laaj so it's
important
ok bon na ñu ne tax law bi moo ko wax so ñu xamee ko noonu ñun ñëpp
exactly
so léegi ñu dem si withholding tax tamit képp koo xam ne nii yaa ngi deal with contractors or di subcontract keneen ñu jox la contract ba pare nga subcontract keneen da nga war a register di fay withholding tax bii nii ñu jaala tamit ci fringe benefit moom dafa nekk façon tax type boo xam ne ñu bari duñ ko dee understand daf dee xaw a confusing a bit waaye du dara is a simple tax type boo xam ne nii employer bi moo dee jox employee bi some benefits yoo xam ne nii daf ko dee lifin comme lu demee ni for example let me give an example like a bank manager boo xam ne nii yaa ngi ñëw ci Gambia bi and then ñu offer la yeena gifts in kind xëy na jox la free residence kër booy dëkka te doo fay luyaas jox la moto te doo fay dara o moto bi doo ko jënda and things like that so su dee yow employee bi o yow miñ offer those benefits in kind yaa ngi contribute something towards that at the end of the day dañ koo deduct then balance bi loolu lañ war a fay tax on so fringe benefit si gàttal ngeen understand ko noonu bon ma delloo kaddu gi eso and then ñu gën a xuus si waxtaan bi
jërëjëf Fatou we'll engage Henry again. So we move on with
the other tax types.
Yes, and other tax types.
The list is long.
Well, we'll go through them.
This is the last.
Wherever we.
The last set, yes.
Yeah, we stop for today. Then hopefully, when we come back next time, we'll exhaust the rest.
And this also is capital gains tax. We'll also have an e-registration. Currently, you go to a place to register offices. And capital gains tax is if you dispose a capital asset like land, your shares, or capital assets that are used for construction or so, whatever you have there, you need to come and pay capital gains tax. It's a topic of its own because there are exemptions and so on. We cannot go into that because today we are just showing you that this is also going to be registered electronically. If Henry sells a property to Korka and like $1 million, I, the seller, supposed to pay capital gains, not Korka, the buyer. Now that property too, if I have, like I bought it 200,000, put some things on it, fence, a well and so on, that will be deducted and the profit will be calculated, or the whole sum will be calculated at different percentages. The tax man will always go for the big one. You understand? So, but you need to pay. If we don't pay this capital, it's within 15 days of the contract or whatever done, the transfer of land is done and money received, you need to pay. The seller needs to pay. But if there are arrangements between the seller and the buyer that the buyer should pay, well, it's left to them. But even if the payment is going to be done, it will be done. The TIN number of the seller will be used. So people should be careful because if these things are not paid, you cannot have occupancy, you cannot have lease. You can have alcalo transfer, but the occupancy you cannot have. You cannot have your total control of your land. Because if you want to lease it or you have plans to build something there and you need physical planning to approve those things, it cannot be done. So the buyer should at least ask the seller to go and pay, or they do arrangements and see how to pay it. So for that one too, but if you are an individual here, entity that disposes assets in the Gambia, you pay. If you are a resident and you dispose any asset outside, share into a partnership or whatever, bank or whatever, and those shares are sold, you need to come and pay. Or if it is landed property, like I have land in Senegal now and I sell it, but I'm resident here. Yes, I should also pay these capital gains.
Okay.
So.
Yes. Over.
No, that's not expatriate quota.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not finished. We also have
you want to go to the next one and then he would.
Yes, you want to complete the tax types. Yes,
okay, then you can
complete.
Yes.
Okay.
We have about 10 minutes or less. Yes.
Okay, then you can put capitals and far to that because.
Then maybe next week we go
we
to
can
expatriate.
continue, yes.
Okay, thank you, Anso and Henry. Jerry Abarkabake. Capital gains tax wolom next one yinti wolom kom ning korda wafita wala nyim machine jorangol niya wafi Gambia kono jang wala natra fana ya wafi Gambia banta wo capital gains tax wolom namo nyimianto aka kuntuje ite me wafiro nyinke me profito nyin soto ite le nyanta wo jola sometimes nak aka ke kambe ngolati altel mu fulol tema ya ite me ya sang ani me ya wafi then ngamira wodron nam Henry capital gains tax isn't it?
Yes.
So wolom fanam natra nyin jorangol fanam wafi wala yela seas wafi wolom comme ibe ini moldenta business wala ye seas soto je sa nyanta wo fanam ibe nyu wafi kan den ye gain men soto je wo fanam namo nyanta jola wotole fatjam.
Okay, legi ñu jala ci benen tax type bo xamne ni war nañ ko register with this e-registration. Mooy capital gains tax. Capital gains tax nag mooy soo ko déggee mooy xëj na su dee da nga jaay an asset loo xam ne ni lu valuable la lu demee ni land wala shares of a business or something like that su boobaa capital gains dañ ko war a fay so when it comes to selling of a land su dee comme like borom dafa sell a property land léegi yow seller bi yow yaa war a fay capital gains tax boobu and not the buyer ki jënda yow bi jaay yaa ko war a fay waaye léegi na daf day depend on ban agreement ngeen def ndax buyer bi mooy fay wala yow seller bi yaay fay waaye li correct mooy seller bi moo war a fay
loolu la loi bi
waaw loolu la loi bi wax waaye léegi na daf dee nekk agreement in between you two so léegi tamit su dee comme like danga nekk into a business and then nga am fa shares nga jaay shares yooyu noonu so profit bi nga fa am danga war a fay capital gains tax so dina nekk tax type boo xam ne nii système bu ees bi ñoo introduce su ñëwee dina nekk tax type boo xam ne nii dañ ko register on that system as well muy capital gains tax bi nii
so ñu ma xamal ne ñu ngi dese lu ñu dese waxtu daanaka ay 4 minutes la but Henry, I don't know if we could do one quickly or do we
want to do reminders?
Yes. Remind us exactly?
Yes.
We want to remind Korka again that the Tangana or whatever is to come and register and
You should
pay.
start taxing
Yes, Tangana, come and pay Korka.
And Yusufa Ture also, Yusufa Ture di Tangana also, Yusufa Sud also.
Okay. All those that the month is coming to an end, today is 28th. We just want to remind you when it ends. The following week will begin the 1st of September. So PAYE for August, VAT for August, and other tax types for August. Or if you are also having payment plan that is supposed to be doing the payment, please come and do your payments.
Okay.
The more you wait, the more you will pay penalty and interest. There's one that accrues daily and the other one accrues per month. So please try and come and if you cannot pay one, go do a payment plan and do the payments. A special rental income, you have properties for 2-3 years, you have not appeared yet. We know that we cannot close your premises, we want businesses to continue so that more money will come into GRA. But come and do a payment plan, go to Canifing, my man is there, talk with him, be as factual as possible, fill the form and show what you normally have every year for the past 2-3 years, and then a payment plan will be prepared. And the payments will take place.
Thank you. Babukar, quickly.
Well, I think comme India fu ñame rek PAYE ning other taxes me anon ko ñanta jola for August on the 15 lum deadline ñinti abe start la next week le nsi fere ke rek ngata nga jo awato la is very important.
ok waaw ñu ngi remind na taxpayers yi rek di leen wax ne weer baa ngee deesi so tax yi ju pour August war nañoo dem fay ko by the end of the month te GRA is so flexible waxuñ la sax ne weer bi bés bum dee si nga war a ñëw fay si dañ la dee may up to the 15th pour nga ñëw fay si so xam nga loolu def nañ that flexibility so ñu ngi ñaaxaat ñëpp ne képp koo xam ne ni yaa ngi am tax bu ju te nga ko war a fay by the end of the month nga ñëw bul xaar ba ñu ne ëllëg la tax bi ju nga door a ñëw because loolu la day indi queues yu bari si biir office bi and loolu mun nañ koo avoid so ñu ngi ñaaxaat ñëpp ñu ñëw on time.
Jërëjëf Fatou viewers, I'm afraid this is all that time permits for today. On behalf of Babukar and Henry and Fatou and the entire GRA management and staff, we thank you all for being with us. Do join us next week, same time. Until then, do have a good day.
GRA, loi moko dolel pour mu feku tax.